psychological to gore-filled thrillers, the big screen has seen its share of disturbing movies. Today, we are going to show you our top picks for some of the most disturbing movies ever made. Number 1. Gummo. Extreme and brutal animal violence and the weirdest cast Harmony Korine could have possibly put together secure this 1997 cult classic a definite place on this disturbing list. Viewers of the film Gummo are instantly plunged into this gloomy, disconcerting, and downright odd tale. The setting is a town in Ohio called Xenia, which has been completely ravaged by a huge tornado. The set of nefarious characters includes a cat murderer, a mentally impaired lady seen shaving off both her eyebrows, and Bunny Boy, whose name harks from the frankly quite weird pink rabbit ears he inexplicably wears. The overall result is one of complete anarchy. Is this abstract film all a bit too much for the viewer? That's up to you to decide. What we do know is that it is definitely a disturbing film. Number 2. Natural Born Killers. This 1994 offering from Oliver Stone, Natural Born Killers, tapped into the macabre fascination for big murder cases of its time. Brought about by extensive media coverage of trials such as the infamous O.J. Simpson's. Dubbed to be amongst the most controversial films ever, there have been links made to a spate of nasty copycat murders. It's the powerful sense of reality that makes the repulsive violence so utterly powerful. Ordinarily accustomed to seeing examples of illogical violence in the media, this time, we're actually being entertained by it. The story begins in an ordinary diner with the main characters who are played by Woody Harrelson and Juliette Lewis. They completely annihilate the whole place, seemingly without so much as a second thought. We then see them perversely celebrated through society's fixation for horrific crimes. There are disturbing revelations about the everyman as we watch a country's reactions. It doesn't seem all that surprising that copycats emulated the examples shown in the film, which was deemed to be so disturbing that it only just escaped being rated as NC-17. Number 3. Apocalypse Now. Francis Ford Coppola's 1979 film Apocalypse Now is a war film with a bit of a difference. Psychological and emotional, it is set in Vietnam and shows the utter chaos, grave danger, and near insanity of the war there. Martin Sheen's character depicts perfectly the huge impact of post-traumatic stress on soldiers. Other greats in the film include Marlon Brando and Dennis Hopper, as well as rising star Lawrence Fishburne, who has progressed to great heights. There are a number of disconcerting and thought-provoking themes in this film, which take it to a different level to that of alternative war offerings. In one part, we are witness to the emotional rescue of a young pup who has been caught up in the violence. Later, we look on as the soldier's mental health deteriorates totally under the extreme conditions he faces in a local village filled with civilians who have been brainwashed. Marlon Brando takes on the role of a rogue U.S. Special Forces officer, Colonel Walter Kurtz. The atmosphere is merciless and brutal, and we are clearly shown the true and very extensive effects that war has on humanity. And when we pay too much attention to the way we work, things are bound to get really disturbing. Audition. On first inspection, Takashi Miike's 1999 film Audition seems as though it is harmless enough. In fact, it starts off as a love story. Don't be deceived though. At the beginning, a lonely widower of middling years looks for love after the death of his wife 7 years previously. Played by Ryo Ishibashi, the gentleman thinks up a novel way to meet his perfect lady and hosts an audition for the girl of his dreams. It is around halfway through, once he's met his match, that things start to turn nasty, and they're really nasty. We discovered that the winning lady has in fact been the victim of horrific serial abusers. She was a child when the abuse began, and now, as an adult, her mission is revenge. Because we've been lulled into a lovely false sense of security during the first half of the film, the graphic violence that ensues is heightened to extreme levels. Her methods of revenge are varied and numerous. One includes a starved man and a dog bowl full of puke. In honesty, It's all more than a little bit sickening. Her creativity in planning her brutal punishments makes this film a worthy addition to any list of disturbing films. Number 5. Cannibal Holocaust. Cannibal Holocaust really doesn't sound particularly nice, and of course, it isn't. Ruggero Deodato's 1985 film could in fact come with a whole list of warning labels. Featuring real live, gruesome animal slaughter and mutilation, as well as the cannibalism of the title, the brutal murders looked so real, Deodato was actually arrested on suspicion of murder. He was tried for the murder, and it took a demonstration of the fatal scene in a court to prove that an unfortunate female in the film was not actually impaled. At the time, the cast of the film were being kept in seclusion to increase the mystery surrounding the movie. Among one of the first movies to use the now well-used precept of found footage, the film follows an egotistical journalist crew into the Amazon rainforest. They are supposedly filming and reporting on the indigenous people who make their home there. These journalists hark from the sensationalist, ruthless hardcore of their profession and have set out on their investigation for this purpose alone. Overt cultural discrimination and criticism is rife throughout the film, raising many questions about journalistic integrity and ethical behavior. Animal lovers, please beware. There are utterly disturbing scenes aplenty, including a poor turtle having its shell violently torn off its body, whilst its beating heart is clear for all to unfortunately see. This film is definitely worthy of its place on this list of the 5 most disturbing movies ever. If you're wondering how they made the scene which got Deodato arrested so realistic, a bike seat was used to make it seem as though the woman was being impaled. Thanks for watching. What's your favorite disturbing movie? Let us know in the comments below, and make sure you like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this.